So today's lecture is about the meninges, the layers which are covering the brain. So let's start from deep to superficial, right? So this is the brain, and the center of the brain is white matter, and the periphery have the gray matter. So let me write here. In the center, we have white matter. And the periphery, the yellow colored here, is the gray matter. Let's write it as a gray matter. So in brain, at the center, we have the white matter, and in the periphery, there's a gray matter. So the first layer, starting from deep, the first layer which is connected, which is in touch with the brain, is known as the pia mater. The black layer, right? The black one is in connection with the brain. So this layer is known as the pia mater. You can write as pia mater. So the first layer, if we see from the deepest, so we can get the pia mater, and the next layer above the pia mater we have the Arachnoid matter. This blue one is Arachnoid matter. First one is pia matter, next one is Arachnoid matter. And the space between this pia matter and Arachnoid matter is known as subarachnoid space. The space between these two layers are known as the subarachnoid space. Let me mention here, it's known as subarachnoid space. Subarachnoid space. And this arachnoid matter, this arachnoid layer in blue, they have projections, like they have a connective tissue projections which is known as tuberculi. So I may mention here, like these projections are known as tuberculi. Like, so these tuberculi are present within arachnoid matter, and they connect this layer with the pia mater, and the space between these two layers are known as subarachnoid space. Above arachnoid layer we have another layer, this is in orange. This layer is known as Dura matter. I should mention here, this is known as Dura matter. Right, so first one was pia matter, which was in connection with the brain. Then we have the arachnoid matter, right? And then we have the Dura matter. And the space between this white color space between the arachnoid matter and the Dura matter is known as subdural space. So I should mention here this space, right? This space between arachnoid and Dura matter is known as subdural space. Subdural space. Right? So the space between pia and arachnoid was known as subarachnoid space, and the space between the dura mater and arachnoid matter is known as a subdural space. And after dura mater, we have the skull, right? So three layers which cover the brain was the pia, arachnoid, and dura mater. And after the dura mater, here, this one and white, this is the skull. And there is a space, there's a small space between the dura mater and the skull. This in blue showing here, and this is known as epidural or extradural space, right? This is known as epidural or extradural space. Right, so this was all about the meninges. Let me revise from starting from the first one is the white matter, which is present in the center of the brain and in the peripheries. This yellow in color is considered as a gray matter, and the layer which is connected with the brain is known as the pia matter. And after pia matter, we have the arachnoid matter, and this arachnoid matter have the projections like connective tissue projections, which are known as tuberculi. And after arachnoid matter, we have another layer which is the most superficial and is known as the dura matter. And the space between arachnoid and the dura matter in white color here is present as a subdural space. And then after the dura mater, we have the skull. And the space between the skull and the dura mater is known as the epidural or the extradural space. Right? So this was all about the meninges.